Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and in this video we are going to be going over what's going on with the PTS and 1.7. So I know a lot of you guys usually come to the channel to find out, kind of what's the real scoop about some of these things. And to be honest with you, there are quite a few things that I like, and there are quite a few things that I don't like about the upcoming 1.7 as it stands with the PTS. Now, you have to remember that the PTS is a public test server, so none of this stuff is supposed to be set in stone. There are going to be changes, but as we can see from the PTS, there are some things that are new, and there are some things that just will not die when it comes to the Division. So in this video, let's go over some of the things that I like, some of the things that I don't like, and I'm going to give some ideas on some things that I would like to see in upcoming PTSs or in upcoming iterations of the Division. So let's get started. All right, so kicking things off with the things that are going on with the PTS as they stand. And remember, I'm running this on the console, so I'm running this on PlayStation 4. Now, getting on to, I guess we should start on the good foot. We might as well go on with the positives. Now, one of the main things that you're going to learn with 1.7 is about these global events. Now, the global events are these kinds of events that are going to happen for a week, and then they're going to have these kind of modifiers to spice things up and encourage you to play a different type of way than you may be used to, or that your gear set is intending, so you can have something fun or something interesting to do, something new and different to kind of shake things up, basically. And me and Cracker Jacks basically both agree that the global events are a very nice change, and we both like them. You get to get some really juicy headshots. If you watch any of the live streams that we did, we just kept yelling out juicy every time we hit the headshot. It just has this nice like this really just juicy headshot sound that I thought was really lacking in the Division. I think most shooters usually have some kind of juicy headshot sound that really makes you feel good, or at least gives you some kind of sound to let you know that you killed the guy with a headshot. And that sound was pretty rewarding, and I enjoyed it. And being that most of you guys know that I love sniping, having that juicy headshot when you get it is just really, really satisfying. So I did enjoy that. Now, one other thing about this global event thing is with the way that the global event that was up live over the weekend, it really encouraged team play. And I thought that that was something that the Division pretty much was lacking once they started introducing gear sets. Before the gear sets, people would kind of plan things out. They would say, all right, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. At least that was how it was when I played with some of the guys way back in, the early days of the Division, way before gear sets. But all of that kind of went out of the window when, after you passed level 30 and you started getting better gear, the enemies were a lot, I would say 1.6, they got pretty weak. And even more running around and face tanking became the norm, and there was really very little communication. It was just steamroll through it. Now, that's not to say that the enemies are harder now. They can be very easy now with some of the modifiers that are in the global events. But yeah, it's really cool to coordinate with your teammates and get shit done, basically. There's one of the modifiers in the tier 2 lets you, if you shoot somebody in the head, if you shoot an enemy in the head, if your teammate shoots that same enemy in the head while that there's a little stack thing on him, a little modifier like marked, it's called marked. And if they're marked, then that second bullet from your teammate is an insta kill. No matter how much armor they have, no matter what, they're dead. And some people would probably say that's really OP. It is pretty stupid, but I think it's pretty awesome because it not enforces, but it kind of encourages you to call out. So if you say, like, there's a yellow guy on the left, and you put the mark on him, and then you yell out marked, then your buddy knows where to look, he knows where to shoot, and then boom, you put him down. And, you know, that headache of trying to whittle down some really tough enemy is pretty much nullified by good communication and good teamwork. And I really, really like that. Cracker Jacks like that. And a lot of the other people who were watching the stream thought that it was pretty cool. And it was a very different mechanic that I thought really, really worked well in the game. And that's team synergy and working well together. Now, speaking more about team synergy, through one of the streams, Jax was running the Reclaimer build. He was keeping my health topped off while I was running around with the Sentry build. And it worked out. It was really good. He kept giving me heals and I kept dealing damage. And then whenever I would get some marks on a whole bunch of people, he knew where to shoot, and then we could kind of call things out. So it really worked out, and it became a lot more fun playing with my teammate. It felt like I was really, really, for the first time in a really long time in the division, playing with my teammate to get shit done. And I think that's a really good step in the right direction for the division in terms of longevity for the PvE player. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about that I like about the PTS or about the upcoming 1.7 changes is the dossier. Now they have this little thing where in the menus there's this like little thing in the upper left corner called the dossier, and it has all of these kind of objectives for you to do, or objectives that you've already completed for things that, you know, may give you some little patch or something, or a little emblem to kind of show off that you've done something, or that you've completed a whole bunch of tasks or whatever. And then you have this not necessarily gear score, but if you've ever played Destiny, it's kind of like the Grimoire score. You have like this thing that just kind of puts a bunch of numbers that shows that you've really spent a lot of time in the game doing different activities and all that kind of stuff. And I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because it really gives people something else to do, and it gives them a lot of things to do that they never would have thought of, or never would have tried, or never would have even bothered with trying to do, that I think grindy games kind of need. There needs to be something where if you just say like, all right, I'm waiting for my buddies, they're not home yet, there's something I want to do, I want to play the game, but I don't really have anything specifically I need to do. Like, you know, before that, you just either went into the dark zone, you did some PvP, or you did some daily missions, or you ran some HVTs, or whatever it was that you did, but you really did it without a purpose. And now with this dossier and having these really clear objectives, and knowing that you're going to get a reward after you finish all of that stuff, and having a clear goal of kill X number of players with this particular weapon, it really kind of enforces people to start getting out of their comfort zone and playing a different way, or actively going after certain things to do that I think is really, really good for the game in terms of the grindy people who like to be, you know, completionists, who like to get things done and do a lot of things. I think it's a good thing that, you know, it's there. And, you know, if you don't want to do it and you're not really interested in that kind of stuff at all, then you don't have to. It's not like it's the #1 key selling point of 1.7. It's just something that's in there to kind of give people more to do, basically while they wait until some actual DLC comes out. So eventually we were going to have to get around to the elephant in the room, and that is Strikers. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard that Strikers is OP, it's broke as fuck, and nobody should be playing it. And to some degree, yeah, that's kind of true. I would say Striker has its place, depending on, you know, where you use it and how you use it. But as it stands right now, it is a very, 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 very strong set. And I don't think that as it stands, it belongs in the PvE world, only because the main counter for Strikers is going to be the flashbang. And with that being, you know, the way that it's set up, there's a couple caveats with Striker that I'm not a huge fan of, although I do love Strikers as a set even before they introduced the 6-piece. But I think that in PvP, it's going to be a very big problem that's going to be hard to solve unless they have some magic waiting up their sleeve for some of the other sets. But do know that if you are in the PTS and you're finding, that you're getting wrecked by strikers, that the flashbang is really going to set up people who rely on the stacks for it to get taken out relatively easy. But the problem with strikers, if I could interject my opinion on it, is that it shouldn't really work with a shotgun. I think and eventually I'm going to have to get into my ideas about how the Division actually should be, but do know that I have a strong feeling that certain sets or certain classes should get some kind of bonus for certain weapon types. And if you're going to be an assault class, then you should, run with your AR, and then that should give you your buff for your AR. Even with the gloves for striker, you get a buff for AR and for SMG. Has nothing to do with shotguns. Shotguns are with Lone Star, but people are exploiting the system and using it with shotguns, and they're getting these ridiculous stacks and bonuses and all this other stuff. And the fact that when you miss with the shotgun, the health bonus thing doesn't go away. That really doesn't matter, and it's not even included. And that's another kind of thing that I don't really like about strikers. But I'll get into that in another section or in another video or something. But the way that it stands for PvE, strikers is pretty fun. I liked using it in the missions. It was pretty fun. It was stupid. It was ridiculously stupid, but I mean, it was all in good fun. So if you're going to use it in PvE missions just for fun, then yeah, it's pretty cool. But do know that you're not invincible if you have striker. You're hard to kill. You're a lot harder to kill. But if you have about 10 guys, 10 yellow bar enemies shooting at you, your stacks are not going to come back fast enough to keep you alive with the way that it's set up now. Maybe before, when it was 1,000 points, you could get away with that. But right now, you kind of can't. If there's a bunch of dudes shooting at you, you will basically get your ass melted off. So that's a perfect segment into moving on to getting your ass melted off, is that the NPCs hit a little bit harder. Seems like they hit a bit harder than they did before, which I think is, in my opinion, it's kind of a good thing. I like a challenge, so I don't like it when they're complete pushovers. But yeah, it seems like they're hitting a bit harder than they were before, which is kind of a good thing. So I think that's why strikers is really, really popular right now. People are getting that health back, and they're not really worrying about it. Reclaimer, as I said, Jax used that, and it seemed really good, especially if it was used with the right setup. And he wasn't even mid-max. He was kind of just using stuff, and it worked out really well. Now really getting on to the negatives in terms of the PTS. The recalibration station didn't work, and I don't know if it even still works. It hadn't worked for a while, and I kind of took a little bit of a break, had a busy weekend. So yeah, the recalibration station didn't work, so you had to basically just get all of the kind of caches and then hope for the best and see if you could get things to put together for a good set. And you'd spend like, over an hour trying to get like some decent pieces for a set, and you still weren't really close to getting anything amazing. So that was, unless you were lucky, and that kind of sucked. Another thing is that the keys and the key fragments basically for me were non-existent. We played for like over 16 hours, and I got like tons of gameplay, and I never saw one key drop. I never seen a key fragment drop. So I don't know if that's something that was broken in the game, or it's not in there or whatever, but I didn't see any of that, and I don't know where it is. So if Massive can ever address that or talk about that in the state of a game, I'd love to hear what's going on with that, because I totally didn't see it, and Jax didn't see it either. We never got any of that. So I'd really like to hear about that. Another thing is that on the first day when we played it, the lag was stupid. Even stupider than it usually is, and a lot of people have been complaining about it for the PS4. I don't know about the Xbox people, but for a PS4, that lag was retardedly dumb. It was unplayable, plain and simple. It was seriously unplayable, and that was even before the servers for the US were really even supposed to kind of be rocking and rolling. And even once they did and the invites were sent out, it was still pretty laggy. So I'm not really sure what was going on with that in general. Yeah, I mean, Deadeye, getting onto the Deadeye set, I don't really like Deadeye. I love sniping, but I think Deadeye is completely stupid, and I think it's the mechanic of getting crits anywhere off of the body is a pretty dumb mechanic. And I think most, I'm not going to say real snipers, I'm going to say the people who snipe in every game and make it their mission to learn how to snipe in whatever first person shooter, third person shooter they play, can probably agree that it seems really silly to get this ridiculous amount of damage from shooting somebody in the ankle. So I had a suggestion that I put out there, and you guys let me know what you think. And I said it during the live stream. I think that if you're going to make Deadeye should grant you maybe about 200% more headshot damage if you get a headshot. And you know, it would be an instant kill more than likely. And I'm sure a lot of people are saying, well, damn, that'd, you know, fuck up PvP. And actually I would disagree, because I think it would make PvE stuff a lot easier. You'd probably, even though you get like millions of damage, you probably still need to, for the more challenging missions, you probably still need to hit them like once or twice in the head. But for PvP, the thing about it is with PvP, people are always moving. And with the way that Strikers is kind of dominating, people are always trying to not stand still, and they're trying to move around so that the person can lose their stack. So people are ducking and weaving and going back and forth, and they're not really, you know, taking cover as they, you know, had intended. So I would say that, you know, if you were a sniper and you could hit somebody juking and dodging and weaving and rolling and get a headshot. I don't mean a body shot. I mean a complete headshot. You get a headshot, you get that damage bonus, and boom, that's what it is. And it would, you know, tell people, stay mobile. If you're gonna play the game and you're gonna play it the way that it is, then stay mobile. If they want people to kind of go into cover and do this other stuff, they're probably going to have to up the damage on everything so that people actually need to use cover or have some better ways of crowd control. But we all know that I'm pretty sure the PvP is never going to be that way. So if we have to just keep moving, I would say up your snipe game and get headshots and put them down with that one juicy shot for the headshot on the sniper. And that's what Deadeye should be, in my opinion. Now, moving on to other things that I kind of don't like about what's going on with 1.7. It's another currency you have to keep up with for this this global events thing. There's another currency that you need, and you use it to buy these chests or whatever, and then you could possibly get, you know, this better gear. I never got any of the better gear. I got nothing but crap gear out of most of those chests that I bought, and it was pretty disappointing to see that stuff just kind of not turn out to be anything. And it almost felt like a bit of a waste of time, although I did enjoy playing the global event stuff, so it really wasn't that big of a waste of time. But, you know, being that it was restricted to only the cleaners, some of the other missions I wish I could have done, but yeah, you're kind of stuck in doing a lot of the same missions if you want to get those kind of bonuses. And I think that's a little bit too much. And yeah, you have to try to get this new currency, and then you only have like a week to do it. It's kind of, I'm not a big fan of that. One other thing that I didn't really like is that there's still no stat tracking like after missions. I'd really like to see, like, after I finish a mission, I can press a button, go into a menu, and then see how many headshots did I get, how many times did I die, how many people did I revive, how many med kits did I use, how, you know, I want to see something to kind of make it have like almost an arcadey feel of like, this is what I did, this is how well I did it, and this is something I can show off. And I'm pretty sure like a lot of elitist and really like hardcore players want to say, you know, I did, you know, this mission, X mission on this difficulty with just a pistol, and I got this many headshots or whatever, and I didn't die or whatever, and I can prove it because I got this, you know, or something like that. I think they need to have something like that. They have something similar to that in the base, in that little new cutout section, but the dude tracks everything. It's not just the last mission that you did. I don't know if it's just from the session of when you start or whatever, but it seems like a long, you know, track of all of that stuff. But I'd really like to see something after a mission having a breakdown of my performance. And then if I'm with some friends in a group of 4, who is the MVP of the group, who did the most work during that mission, just so that, you know, you can shit talk to some of your friends about, hey man, you didn't do nothing, look at you, you died like 12 times, you only got like 3 headshots, man, what were you doing, you know? And you know, that's just the kind of fun stuff that I'd like to do with my friends, and my friends like to do with me. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it's not really fully realized, and I hope that they do something about that. But I would like to see something like that for every mission or incursion or whatever, so that I can know my progress and how I'm doing for that. Now, another thing that's going on, the Lone Star 6-piece doesn't really seem to be doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to give you this chance for a berserk that gives you like a kind of bonus to do extra damage or something like that. And it's not really proccing and not really working. It doesn't really work all that well. Sentry 6-piece, I'm not really sure, but I didn't really see the spread of the Sentry 6-piece going to too many enemies. It might have been because I was using a bolt action and killing guys in about 3 hits or so, or if we had the multiplier for the 2-shot, then you know we were really killing them quick. So I didn't really see that happening all that much. And even when I used the urban MDR, I didn't really feel like those shots were really spreading. So I'd like to see what's the story with that. Is the cone of spread kind of small, or do you have to get a certain number of hits before it kind of starts to work? I'd like to know a little bit more about that, but I didn't really see it being all that great. Yeah, I haven't really seen any of the new gear or stuff drop from the bosses. This goes back to the keys and all of that stuff. Like the drop rates, I think, are pathetically pitiful. I didn't really see a lot of stuff going on with drops or any good drops or anything like that. I didn't even see any exotics drop. And like I said, that was playing, you know, 16 hours or more of the PTS. I didn't see one of those things. And, you know, I mean, yeah, you can say, you know, 16 hours is not a lot, but I mean, damn, 16 hours is pretty damn long. I mean, I should see something for the PTS. All right, now with this video getting over 20 minutes, I think it's time for me to kind of start wrapping it up. The last thing I wanted to say about this is the chances of you getting like a good roll on some of these new pieces seems like it's going to be really difficult, especially being that it is kind of based on drops and based on RNG. And RNG has never really been my preference of choice for how to get some of the best gear. I think there should be a way to kind of guarantee getting it or something like that. But yeah, if I get one of those pieces and I get a really bad piece, knowing that I'm not going to get another piece for like a long time, I'm gonna be real pissed. And I think it'll probably end up turning people off from the game, having stuff like that. So yeah, I really hope that they make it so that, you know, it's really like top tier stuff. Like the level that it should be at should be really high, and it shouldn't be like, you know, you have this wide variable of getting a really good piece or a piece that's slightly above a really good normal piece. I think it should be a really good piece or a really good piece, and be really kind of close within, you know, 10 points of perfection from each other, so that if you get it, you can't be hype about it either way it goes. But that's just kind of my opinion about that. So if you guys have played the PTS, let me know, what do you think about it? Is there anything that you like to change, anything you'd like to see, anything that you didn't like, any glitches, bugs, anything that didn't really work out for you or that really pissed you off? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. And yeah, pretty much that is going to be about it. Let me know what you thought about some of my opinions, and what do you think is going on with the PTS. And are you excited about 1.7? Definitely let me know about that. And on that note, before this goes any further, I am Khan, Mr. So Real. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day. I'm gone. Peace.